Hello and welcome to the Hello Plum Podcast, episode 4. Welcome. My name is Carrie and this is my space where I talk about mostly my cross stitching. In fact, today it's going to be entirely cross stitching, but sometimes a little bit of knitting and crocheting as well. It is July 6th, 2024, Saturday today, and we just had the 4th of July. If you are in the US, I hope you had a lovely 4th of July week and now into the weekend. I know a lot of us are off of work. So I am a couple days later than I usually would be in recording, and it has been a busy week, so I didn't get a ton done, but I did want to just, pop on and show you what I've been up to. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much for giving me a watch. I really hope that you like what you see here, and if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. I'm having the best time interacting with everybody and discovering new podcasts that I didn't know about, and it's really been a fun experience so far, and I'm enjoying doing this. So I hope you have something to drink. I am going to share a couple winter finishes to go with the Christmas in July theme that I know so many of us are enjoying right now, and I thought I would have my little snowy mug full of coffee. I am one of those that feels it is never too hot for a cup of hot coffee. So I hope you have something to drink or snack on, or some stitching to just, sit and share a little bit of time with me. Okay, without getting too far in, I do want to take a moment and just give a thank you and a message, or a shout out to Stitching by the Shore. I have to be totally honest and say that this was a Flosstube that I was not familiar with, but she was so sweet and gave me a shout out, and I know she linked my video, and I did see a bump in subscribers, so thank you so much for that kind shout out, and I'm really glad that you had fun watching. I did go over and watch and really enjoyed that Flosstube and subscribed immediately. I also did make it a point this week of going over and watching 2 crossed stitchers. They also mentioned me in weeks past, and oh my gosh, they're so sweet. And what a fun duo they are. They really seem to enjoy each other's company, and there seems to be a lot of joy surrounding their crafting. So just wanted to make sure that I mentioned those, gave proper thank yous, and go check them out. I'm going to make sure that I link them in my description box. So I thought it would also be fun to kind of talk about, I just have 3 Flosstubes that I watch. Some you might know already, and others I think are fairly new. Well, one in particular is fairly new, but I think it's so fun to, when I hear somebody else mention something, oftentimes I'll go over and check it out, and it ends up being a really fun discovery. So I just wanted to take just a couple minutes here and mention the 3 that I find myself watching. Like, as soon as they release a video, I find that I do stop what I'm doing and I watch it from start to finish. The first one, I feel like so many of us know her, and she is lovely, and I have grown a lot as a stitcher watching her tutorials, and I look forward to her updates. She's just a joy, and that is Sarah, the Stitching Mommy, or Stitchin' Mommy. She is wonderful and so knowledgeable, and she has such a wide variety of projects, and I love, I've reached out to her in the past through comments and always gotten a response back. Even if it was a fairly detailed question, she really took the time to answer me, and I feel like that that just speaks to her heart toward this craft. And I really, really enjoy watching her. Another one is Catkin and Lily. First of all, she has an amazing voice and accent, and I enjoy listening to her. She's very soothing to watch. But also, her projects are beautiful, and I really enjoy the things she works on, but she also seems to enjoy talking more about the technical side of stitching. And I know I just watched a video of hers, I think yesterday when I was perusing Flosstube, and it was all about, needles that we use and when to change those. And I find her take on things very interesting. She seems really knowledgeable and explains things in a way that my brain seems to connect with, and it really does tend to make sense. So I'm really enjoying the Catkin and Lily podcast. And this last one, I think she's fairly new, but maybe she's got, 14 or 15 videos out, but I think she does them fairly often. And I think her channel name is just Katie. And she is so wonderful to watch. And she's got so many different types of projects. And I've watched multiple, WIP videos of hers where she just talks about, her stash and all the things that she's got going. But she also seems to really make some good progress on her projects, and really, really, really enjoying her. She's lovely to listen to, a lot of fun to watch. So those are the three that I wanted to mention today. I will be sure to put links for each of those channels in the description box so you can go over and check them out. And should any of them happen to see this, thank you for the content that you put out. It brings joy to my day whenever I get to watch any of you. I think I'm going to start with what I worked on this past week, and then show you the couple of fully finished objects that I have. There's only two, but they are Christmas and or winter, I guess, themed. And I am one of these people where as soon as the 4th of July hits, now I'm ready for fall and I'm ready for winter. I was a summer girl when I was a lot younger. But the older I get, the less I enjoy summer. The heat, it does not agree with me. So I am very thankful that I live in a house that is equipped with central air conditioning, and I can go in the house and play like it's autumn. Turn the thermostat down and avoid the heat, because it just feels like if I get too warm, I don't come back from that so great. So as much as I would love to say I'm one of these who's out in the sun all the time and I really enjoy the summer weather, that just is not who I am. I like looking at it through a window where it is cool inside. And so the winter stitching, the July, Christmas in July thing always seems kind of like a fun thing to me. So I do just have those to show. I did not get a ton of stitching done, but I did manage to get some done. Like I said, busy week with the holiday. I actually didn't do a whole lot of holiday activities, but I did have to work a lot. And so, the job, it gets in the way of the crafting sometimes, but the crafting is paid for by the job. So better go to work, right? The first thing I want to show you, and this is also a fall piece, is one that I have been focusing on and really enjoying. I am tangled up here. Let me just make my way. Oh my goodness. I almost lost a needle. Is Wanda's Wands. And I've shown this before, but this is just a super cute little quilted bag. I have no idea what the pattern is. One of my sisters made it for me, and it is absolutely my favorite bag for small projects. The interfacing or quilting that she used in there is just, it has enough stabilization where I feel like things don't easily get crushed. say like as my knitting projects do when they're in the, you know, the softer kind of bags. So this bag is perfect for these Mill Hill kits. Here is a picture of what Wanda's Wands looks like. So cute. And as always, the pictures do not even come close to doing it justice. Here is the progress I've made. And I actually did manage to get quite a bit done on this. This is the second floor of, the house, the building in the picture. So I was able to get, you know, some of the back stitching done in these windows. This little bat I back stitched. I did work over here and just fill in some more beads. I got all the sparkly pink beads. Those are my favorite. I just love that fuchsia color. And I did fill in quite a bit of the house, you know, this portion of it. I think I'm going to start working this way on it. I am finding that once I pick this up, I have a hard time putting it down and focusing on anything else. It just is, it's just really fun. And there's a lot more going on in this one than the other Mill Hill that I've completed. It has a lot more back stitching and stuff. And I don't always love to back stitch if I wait too long to do it. But as long as I do it as I go and I don't let it become an overwhelming thing, I do really, really enjoy that. So that's the progress I got done on that one. That was mostly done just in short bursts, you know, as I found I had time. So, the other one, and I did in my last video, so episode 3, I did talk about my plans a bit, and I had mentioned that I was going to kind of look at July as a whole, because in the beginning of the year in January, when we're setting, you know, all the New Year's goals and resolutions and things, I had kind of come up with a cross-stitch plan for myself where I was going to devote, you know, a certain amount of days every month to, you know, specific projects and just try to kind of work through my stash in a year, so that I got to touch everything at least once. The pieces I really wanted to get finished, I gave more time to. But since then, my stash has grown. And so I am not sure what I'm going to do past January. I'm going to try this and see how I like it. I have not assigned specific days to things, only a certain number of days per project. And past that, I'm just kind of going to do what I want, because while I do well with a schedule, I don't want to feel like I'm totally pinned in. And if something's just not calling to me, that I have to, you know, work on it. So the other one that there are actually 3 that I worked on. However, this piece, I'm going to try to find the title page because I really thought I had it right here. I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs, and it is called Village Bookstore. And I know I've mentioned in my other videos that I love to read, and old bookstores they call to me. And so when I saw this, I thought, oh, I definitely have to stitch this one. This one I gave 2 days to, and I am stitching it. This is, I want to say 25 count, and I'm stitching it 1/1, which is a little challenging for my eyes if I don't have the right light. And I stitch a little slower on it, but I really do enjoy the process. So this is what I got done. I only had a very little bit. Oh boy, it's really not wanting to show up here very well. I really did only have a small bit left. Oh, you know what? This is not the right piece. Oh, for heaven's sake, I will be back. Okay, so this is, let me just wind this up. I did put about 350 stitches in on this one. I didn't have a real large start, but what I love about these is that, especially in the picture, it can look like it's going to be, it can look like it's going to just be a lot of black or a lot of brown. And then you start stitching and it turns out there's actually quite a bit of confetti stitching in there, lots of different colors, lots of different color changes. And it is a joy to watch that come to life. Let me just take a sip here. And I really do enjoy watching all those colors, you know, show up and give it dimension, and it is really a fun thing. Part of the reason that I didn't get as much stitching done as I had hoped that I would was because this project here, I realized I was not nearly as ready to stitch on it as I thought I was, as far as having flosses pulled and things. And once I started, you know, getting into things and trying to find those floss colors, I realized my floss situation was a disaster. And so I took time and I got organized, figured out which ones I need for my master set again, because apparently I either used them all or they are kitted with a different project. But I feel like I'm much better organized now, and that it should be hopefully a little bit easier for me to just sit down and get to the good part, which is the stitching, right? So that one, like I said, I gave 2 days to that one, got about 350 stitches done. Would have been more if I had been better prepared. The next one, the last one that I worked on this week, was actually my Mirabilia. And again, she's called Rosamund, and she's so pretty. I am using all the called for colors and beads except for two that I actually had mentioned in a previous video. It seems like they're discontinued. I'm having a really hard time finding them, but forgive me because I'm gonna forget the name. Some lovely viewer did mention to me, gave me a link to a possible place where I may be able to find those, and so the beads that I need. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna look in. I know that apparently there were some what's the word I'm looking for? Like kits, the supply kits for this particular pattern, and so maybe I'm able to just get my hands on just having that, you know, those couple beads put in. But this is another one. The fabric is a 32 count. It is, I don't believe it's the called for, but it is a very close color green. Oh, we got parked threads all over the place here. I am completely done with this part, and all the beads that are charted in there, they are in. I do have where I worked in here to try to get down. I'm almost there to connect kind of the top of these blankets, and I'm going to just connect that, and then I think I'm going to keep working down, see if I can finish up the foot of the bed. It is coming along so nicely. I will definitely, I think I gave myself 3 days. I think I gave myself 3 days for this one in the month of July, but she's going to get at least that. I always forget, I think because it's such a large project, that there really are so many large blocks of color, and it makes for some really easy stitching. My eyes do not find that super easy. I do have to wear, and I'm sure many of you know what these are, but I wear mag eyes, the, you know, headband with the magnifier that comes down. Not a super great look, but boy, they're handy. And I'm thankful for them because I would not be able to work on anything. 36 and 40 count are usually where I really need them. That being said, some of the dyed fabrics, especially if they're darker, I feel like I do need them. And I know that during the dyeing process, sometimes those fabric, the holes kind of plump up. And I'm sure that if I put it in a frame and, or a Q-snap and, got it nice and secure, that it would feel, potentially a little better, it would open up those holes a little bit better, make it feel a little easier to stitch on. But I really do like to stitch in hand, especially on a beaded project. Then I don't ever have to worry about, cracking or breaking any beads. I think that's all I worked on this week. Like I said, work was very busy. And I really did not, partly because of the busyness, but also just partly because, sometimes after work I come home and my brain is pretty tired. I really didn't get that much done. I am hoping as I'm off this weekend that I'm going to my plan is to just really, sit and kind of give myself a break mentally and get into my stitching. Rosamond is definitely going to be what I work on, I think probably mostly for the rest of today. I am going to, for this next week, I want to continue to work on Village Bookstore. I feel like I'm in a good rhythm with that one. And then I am not sure which of the others I'm going to choose for this week, based on, my options, so to speak, for July. I guess we shall see at the end of next week. Oh, you can see a kitty tail right there. That is my cat, Duck, is his name. His name is Duck, and he's got a brother named Goose. And they came together from the Humane Society. They were a bonded pair, and very frightened when they got here, although they are now quite the bold little kitties. We've had them for about 2 years, and I love them. I would grab him and show him to you, but he really does not like to be held, and I try really hard to respect his boundary. So he might show himself every once in a while if he ever comes up on the table that I'm working on to show himself. I am going to show you, I think, those couple of finishes. I worked a little bit, I will say this, on the crochet blanket. I did work on that a little bit, but not enough where I'm going to haul it out and show you. Plus, it's warm today. And I don't really feel like having that on me. I think I'm just going to bring that out as I make significant enough progress where it's going to be able to be seen. And as far as the sock, I had hoped to get just the cuff of that done, and that ended up not happening. I think I probably put 15 rounds in. Again, life, it's a real thing, and sometimes we get thrown off target. So I do want to just show you these couple of winter finishes. And unfortunately, I do remember the company that produced them. I do not remember the names of the patterns, and I completed them in a time where, like, I don't think I ever planned on sharing them with anybody other than those people who are in my living room during Christmas. So I don't know the pattern names. If any of you know the pattern names, I would love it if you could help me out and comment and tell me what they are. And I did frame these both myself. One of them, actually, it's their company's frame. This is a super inexpensive frame. And it is, let me see if I can get a good, there we go. This is actually a Dimensions collection, one of the petites, and I do not, maybe it's Moonlit Cabin. That might be it, Moonlit Cabin. Tell me if I'm wrong. There was so much going on in this one, and this was kind of where I realized that I do not like to backstitch all at once. It's beautiful. I learned how to do French knots I think on this project, this is where I needed to do the most. They're not perfect, but I always kind of like the wonkiness of some of those early things because I feel like it really shows your journey, right? How you learn and how we progress. And for me, crafting is cross stitch in particular. It is my favorite thing in the universe. It has trumped and surpassed all of my other things. And I mean, I have a lot of other things that I enjoy doing, but nothing has swept me away quite the same way as cross stitch. And I enjoy it because I think it is bottomless. Those other things are too, but for me, all the specialty stitches and all the things that there are to learn, I feel like that's amazing to me. But I like the physical representation of the growth and the journey so much. So yeah, I'll take my little wonky French knots and that'll be fine. This is a Mill Hill kit. Oh, I do not remember the name of this. This is a Mill Hill frame, and I love these because they are just that standardized, all their frames are the same, for the buttons and beads kits, they're all the same size, so they'll all fit in this frame, which is why I got white. I probably should get some other colors as well, but for today, this is the one I use this is what I'll be using for all of them. But there are so many buttons in here, and it is just absolute. It's so beautiful. All those blues. And can we just take a moment for this bunny? Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't. He's just, you know what? I feel like she is so cute. And yeah, I absolutely love this one. It is one of my favorite things to put out at Christmas time, and I leave it up because it's not really Christmas, right? It's winter, and I leave it up the entire winter season. I love it. And every time I think I've decided, like for a long time, I thought, oh, this one is my favorite. Every time I think I got, my favorite one picked, I realize, nope, I don't think I can choose. It was a joy to stitch that. And again, a real growth experience. I think I had never done much beading at all, much less that amount of beading. And it was a joy. So I think that's all I've got for today. Excuse my voice. There is all kinds of stuff blowing around in the air. 'Tis the season, right? And apparently something got in my voice. So this is probably the perfect place. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink. This is actually the perfect place for me to say that, we'll see what I get up to. I have plans, but they are loose at most. So that being said, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a nice little sit down and chat with me, and I will see you hopefully in about a week. Thank you. Happy stitching.